What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of a Car Guy podcast. I'm your host, Pete the Car Guy. Thank you so much for joining me on such a beautiful Saturday morning. Happy April to all of you out there. Can't wait to get started. Got a lot to talk about and some fresh new topics. So without further ado, you know how we do. We're going to kick it off with the What's Going On segment. Talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Oh man, I can't get enough of that. Hey, so great news. We've got our Take the Wheel segments lined up for this month. We've got two fresh interviewers that are really integral to the car market. Can't wait to introduce you to these guys. That's going to come up for the next several weeks within April. We've got one coming up within the next week, and then the last one will be at the end of the month. So I'm looking forward to doing those interviews. I'd like to get them live this time, so we'll see. We'll hopefully get those going. At any rate, I'll have more details to follow with that as we go along throughout the month, okay? So a couple other things. Thank you so much to the guys that have been checking out the website. Continue to do so. I really appreciate it. For those that haven't, please go to www.lifeofacarguy.com. We've got blogs and videos on there. Continue to check those out. Continue to read those and give your comments and like and subscribe there as well too. Greatly appreciate those that have already done that. Okay. So in the streets news, I can't wait to talk about this. This is really near and dear to my heart as a car enthusiast. So the drive.com reported on Friday that Infiniti is going to bring back the four-door high horsepower manual transmission sedan. Yes. So looking forward to that. I remember when they introduced the G35 back in the early 2000s. This was a supremely appointed yet high performance sedan. And they also had it in a two-door, but the sedan was the big thing. Because, for guys that have families, that don't have the space, quote unquote, for the sports car, could lean on something like this and still have the high performance, but still be able to kind of meet family needs, especially if your spouse is not looking to see a sports car in the garage or in the driveway. So it kind of met both of those needs with respect to that. So I'm so glad they're bringing this back. The senior vice president for marketing and Nissan and Infiniti, Tiago Castro, did confirm that this is going to happen. So really looking forward to that. It's definitely a revisit back to the times where you had the 5 and 6 speed manuals in the sedans and the horsepower was there to boot. That's kind of going by the wayside with the focus more on not only automatics, but also an SUV type feel. And with those automatics that were kind of performance based, they used a lot of the paddle shifters and the Tiptronic shifters. I know a lot of people weren't really feeling that. And I got to tell you, for the most part, a lot of people weren't really using those because it wasn't really the same kind of feel that you get with a manual transmission. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm so glad that they're bringing that back. So that's really huge. So thank you, Nissan and Infiniti for bringing those back for us. So here we go, guys. We're going to launch our new topic of discussion for the month. And I've been kind of speaking to a lot of my subscribers about this. And we're going to kind of do a brief overview of what we call the car buying process. So the topic of discussion for this month is going to be the Car Guy's car buying process. All right. So the 5 topics that we're going to talk about throughout this month are going to be Recon research reviews. That's topic 1 for today. Then we're going to do pre-finance. Tell you more about that on the next week. The next topic is going to be first date or test drive. Topic number 4 is going to be transaction time. And then topic 5 is going to be post-op. So this is going to go through the stages of the car buying process. And the point of this actually, because when we start off a new month in springtime, that's when I was in the car business, that when we would start seeing the activity pick up for car buying. So I thought it would be a great topic for this month to kind of help people out with the car buying process, and more importantly, do it in a way that benefits you. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the first topic, Recon research and reviews. Okay. So the very first thing you want to do for those that have come to the conclusion that they are now ready to buy a car, I want to do this a little different. There's so many styles, if you will. There's so many suggestive ways in order to do this. And the biggest thing why people kind of look for suggestions is because number one, the biggest concern is not overpaying or feeling like they're getting ripped off. That's the biggest topic that comes up. Number two, they want to make sure that they pick the right vehicle. And then number three, they want to feel good about what they've chosen. Okay. So I know that a lot of discussions that are out here on the web right now kind of focus on a specific way in which you have to buy a car. So being in the industry for more than close to 30 years now, I have to tell you that there is no wrong way or absolute right way of doing it. What I like to say is there is your way of doing this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to formulate these segments that kind of focus on your strengths and our strengths as far as purchasing and going about finding and buying a car. Okay. So, number one, the first topic we're going to discuss within this is let's discuss a comfortable process that anyone can commit to in order to find a car. All right. So, segment number one. All right. Step one. Let's find out what works for you. Let's focus on what your strengths are. Okay. So, one of the things that I've read a lot of these various car gurus who have a lot to offer and are very well versed in their fields, I know they have some of them have a particular way in which you have to go about doing things. So, we can kind of agree to disagree. And the only reason why I say that is because I want this to be a way in which that we can find a car that works best for us. So, for example, if you're an analytical type of person and you like to use charts and you like to use spreadsheets and things, do that. Okay. Do what works for you. If you are more of a feel of the road type person or kind of connecting with your emotions, or which is not a bad thing at all, but wanting to get a fit and feel of a vehicle and feel what's right or what looks good to you, by all means do it. The biggest thing here is that I want you to focus on your strengths, but I want you to identify those and identify what works best for you with respect to the car buying process. Okay. So that's step one. Step two, we want to kind of find out what tools to use and what would be a good source to kind of verify what your interests are. So, two main online resources that I would strongly recommend would be Edmunds.com and Consumer Reports. Edmunds.com for car buying and car reviews is an excellent resource. It is a very user friendly platform where you can go in and enter in the different segments of vehicles that you're looking for. It also helps you with car reviews. It also helps you with kind of seeing notes on the various cars, kind of getting inside and outside looks of vehicles right from the comfort of your own home. The car buying process has definitely changed over the years with the invention of the internet and, of course, online pricing and information all online. So I would say use that to your advantage. Now, there are some out there that like to go out and sit in vehicles and start their research that way. If that works for you, great. There's no harm in that. What I would suggest though is, I would kind of start with the online search first, only because nowadays that can kind of tire you out. There's so many options out there. There's so many places where you can buy cars. There's so many ads out there, so many things for new and used. And depending on which direction you want to go, it kind of helps to start from going online. Now, for those that have a computer and prefer to be at their home base and look at that, great. You also have a living, breathing computer that's in your pocket every day. That's your cell phone. You can use apps, download apps on Edmunds.com as well as Consumer Reports to kind of look and review that information for yourself. So definitely, those are two great resources that I would recommend. If you come across other resources that are just as well work well for you, use those as well. That's no problem. These are the two that I kind of highly recommend because of their mainstay resource and their overall independent reviews that a lot of people will look at in terms of finding what they're looking for. Okay. Step three, you need to identify 3 to 5 categories that are important for you in your next car buying process. So it kind of, I like the way that I kind of set this up from the beginning because I talked about these and how important they are. But now we can kind of utilize them in the car buying process. And number one would be safety. Definitely want to see if that's an important aspect for you, especially if you're looking for vehicles that are more family oriented and you're catering to others other than yourself, children, older family members, what have you. Safety is a very strong topic to kind of consider. So I definitely would put that in for you for those reasons. Durability, reliability is another topic. There are a lot of rating systems out there that you'll find on Edmunds.com that really speak to that in a lot of great reviews and brevity. So definitely, that's a subject for you that you're more focused on. Definitely check that out. Fuel economy and gas, that's a huge topic, especially for today's climate where we're seeing a huge rise in gas prices. I think the lowest I've seen in my area is like right around $4.20. That's a far cry from where we were about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, where gas was just under $3. So if you're looking for the most fuel efficient vehicle out there, definitely kind of have that as a main topic of search criteria for yourself. Performance is also very big and very important. So, I have a lot of clients that have come to me that have started off with a very practical approach. And although that definitely helps with a lot of fact finding, you also want to look into your heart to what's going to kind of make you tick and make you feel good about your purchase. And if performance is something that's important to you, definitely put that down. That's very important, and you don't want to overlook that because and being so practical about your car search, you don't want to leave out the thing that makes you excited about your vehicle. Now, there are a lot of people that have a very close connection with their vehicles, and then there's some that don't, and that's okay. But if performance is a high end topic for you, definitely include that. Last one, and this is for those individuals that have a more fit and feel of a vehicle, and I want to talk about looks. So this is a very objective approach, and what looks good to you is what's important to you. So please don't ignore that, okay? Because you're spending a lot of money, okay? Whether you're financing or paying cash, you're putting forth a lot of money. This is the second largest purchase that we make throughout our lifetimes, okay? And that we'll more than likely make again at some point in time. So you want to make sure you gravitate to what kind of connects with you and looks good to you. So I definitely say pay very close attention to that as well in your topics. Okay. Now, next couple of things we're just going to talk about are going to identify top needs and desires. So that kind of flows into the interesting categories, but for some, it may be a little bit different. Okay. And when I say top needs and desires, that can also speak to the type of vehicle that you're looking for. So if you're needing like a hybrid or a sedan, definitely focus on those segments. If you're needing a SUV or a minivan, focus on that as well. Trucks, specialty vehicles like Jeeps, off-road kind of vehicles, sports cars. Focus on those as well, and focus on what makes you tick that you're looking for, and make sure you align the vehicles with your interest and needs. Okay. Now, two of the last things I want to talk about in the kind of recon and research mode of this, I want you to try to make this as enjoyable as possible. Okay. One of the things that I have learned over the years in being in the car business is that for a lot of people, it can be a very stressful situation. It can definitely be one of high intense and anxiety, and making sure you make the right decisions and making sure that you're buying it at a price that's comfortable for you and all of that. I totally get it. That's why I want to put a point of emphasis on this. I want you to make it enjoyable. And however you do that, whether it's doing the analytical side of it, whether it's doing a couple of test drives, whether it's bringing a friend along to kind of gauge and kind of exchange ideas with on that is important. But it's very, very important you make this enjoyable, make it an experience that you want to become comfortable with, and overall just want to have a good enjoyment with. Okay. And it also helps to connect with people who you're working with as a sales consultant, who make that experience pleasurable as well. Okay. And it's okay to find that one person that you connect with that is going to make it fun. Okay. And that's the whole point of it, because you're spending a lot of money. You might as well make sure it's something that you're going to remember in a very positive light. All right. Last thing to kind of speak on is, if you have questions or you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. Okay. There's no harm in asking. If you're one that feels like this is a little bit more daunting, and you have a friend or a relative or someone that you can connect with that can kind of guide you through this or kind of walk you through this, feel free to enlist in that person. One thing I would just say to be very careful though, sometimes we can connect with people that have their own agendas in mind and kind of force things on you that you may or may not agree with. If that's the case, then find someone that will kind of align with your interest and kind of align with how you want to do things. Now, there's no harm with having someone that wants to kind of take the lead for you if you so give that to them. There's no problem with that. I have seen in certain instances, not a lot, but in certain instances where one person felt a certain way that this has to be done, but the actual buyer wasn't necessarily in agreement with that. So just make sure that you both are aligned with what you want to do and how you want to do it. Okay. But at the end of the day, guys, I want you to feel comfortable about whatever you do, however you do it, and what's most important to you. So this is more of a guideline and a structured viewpoint, more of just to kind of get you set up with a baseline. I want you to find what's comfortable for you and what works for you. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that. I can't wait to talk about the next several segments that are going to come up throughout the month. So we're going to make this a fun process. We're going to make this an enjoyable process, and we're going to make this a learning experience too. So, with the experience that I've had over the years, one thing that I've always found is that there's always something new to learn, and there's always something that we may or may not have thought of in those times of dealing with and kind of going through the business. So I'm definitely eager to kind of teach and to also learn with myself. Okay, so looking forward to it. Drop a dime. So, once again, guys, thank you again for sending out your responses and feedback through the email. For those that aren't aware, the email for the car guy is thelifeofacarguy@gmail.com. Continue to send correspondence out there. I've been checking it, and I greatly appreciate the things that I've been seeing and what you've been sending. So, thank you so much for doing that. So no new announcements for today. Everything is moving and rolling. Our subscription base is definitely rising, and I greatly appreciate all of those that have seen the videos, have liked the podcast, and have subscribed. You know how we do with the homework assignment. For those that have already subscribed or have seen the videos, please send this out to 5 other individuals and have them like and subscribe as well, so that we continue to grow the subscription base and can contribute to this thing of ours. And you know how we talk about this thing of ours. I want it to be all inclusive. Want this to be something for everyone to enjoy from all walks of life and varied experience levels as well too. So let's continue to grow this thing of ours. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm gonna enjoy this wonderful weather out here and open the sunroof today. Can't wait to do that. So I want to tell you, appreciate you riding with me. I want to thank God for all that He does. For without Him, I cannot do this. And because He is who He is in my life, I always let Him take the wheel. And though we may not always agree, it's very important that we try to show respect. And thank you so much for continuing to check me out. Stay up, and I'll see you guys on the road.